I'm all done cleaning for the most part. All right, all the work is done, and now for the fun. I'm even wearing my fun shorts. They're like bright orange gym shorts. And funny enough, my wife got them for me like before we even got married. So probably 11, 12 years ago. And she's regretted it ever since. She hates them. I don't wear them out in public or anything like that, but I mean, I'll wear them around the house as often as possible. I love them. Thanks, babe. Anyways, here's the stain. I'm gonna be doing the handle for the spear with this stain right here, in case you're curious. It's just a stain that I have. And then as far as the blade goes, I'm gonna try and mix up a cool metal color. I mean, this is already metallic silver. I was thinking about maybe adding some blue into it. I don't know, we'll see. So first things first, I already kind of stirred this around and then let it settle. I'm not sure if air bubbles are important or if they affect it at all. I don't know, it's just a stain. I know with the polyurethane, you don't really want bubbles in it, which I'm probably gonna do at the end. But first things first. Look at that chalky milk. Oh man, that smell. I should probably have a respirator or something. But I'm used to it. I don't know what that means. Could mean I'm used to bad smells, or I did used to do some fiberglass work, so I'm used to some pretty chemically smells. If you've ever worked around fiberglass, or you know, the resin involved with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna wipe it on. Kind of spread it in as much as possible. Should probably be wearing gloves, but I'm no expert. I'm just pretty sure you're supposed to put on enough for it to stain, and then you don't really need much more than that, if I had to guess. I mean, it's looking good. The stain kind of matches the wood pretty well. Man, I should have bought locking casters for this dang little bench I have when I made it. This table's rolling everywhere. Trying to make sure if I see any white spots or lighter spots like that, I hit it, because that's a spot I missed. I think it's looking good. I don't see any dark spots where it might have been put on a little more than the rest, so that's good. Go ahead and finish down here on the end. Polish it up like a pool cue. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Bobby. Bobby, time for dinner, don't you know? Who remembers that? To be fair, I barely do. But that could just be a memory thing. And I wonder if I even have that quote right. I feel like it'd be a hard one to mess up. All right, I feel like I put way too much in that. New paper towel. I'm getting towards the end and I couldn't find my blue tape. I was gonna tape off the blade, but it shouldn't matter too much for the stain. You can always paint over that and you wouldn't be able to tell too much, but when I paint, that's where I gotta be careful. I am terrible at putting things back. I'm more of a wait till it gets bad enough and do it all at once kind of guy. And I know that's not a good thing, but you know, we're all different. My wife's the opposite, so we balance each other out pretty well. When I do clean, I get very thorough. So, like I said, it balances out. And I think I'm about done with that. Let's see if we can get, I know anywhere where there's wood glue, I don't think it'll take it up. I tried to sand right here at this joint, but you can see the shimmery part I missed. Either way, it's not like I'm trying to sell it. I'm gonna let that sit for a bit, and then we can go on to the painting part. See if we can mix up a color that replicates metal. Although, like I said, that one's already called metallic silver, so we'll see if I like the way it looks. If not, like I said, I might mix in a little blue, get some blue steel going on, which is a great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. I think it was in the 90s or something. Very funny, Martin Lawrence film. Sorry if I get the name wrong. I'm not the type of person to know actors' names, so I'll be back when it's time to paint. All right, I'm back, and I waited the recommended time for this to dry in dog hours. You can do the math on that. I don't know, I was gone for like 10 minutes. I washed my hands just so I could handle this again, and I got a plate to put these on. I think I'm just gonna, well, I was thinking about just trying these two colors, but man, that's kind of dark. Look at that. It does look metallic. That's pretty cool. But I'm thinking I might have to add a little white to it too to lighten it up. But I won't know until I get started. If you're still watching, I appreciate you being here. If you don't know, this is something I made for my son. One of my first videos, and it is a spear. I was trying to make it kind of look like the blade staff thing from All Orcs Must Die. And I ended up having to scale it down a bit to make it straighter. It's still not straight, but that's okay. My son loves it. And now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put that coat of paint on the spearhead. If we can figure out a good color mixture. Probably only need a little bit of that blue. I'm trying to go for, you know, a little bluish metal, which is why I think I'm gonna need that white. And I probably put an edit already up there, but the movie I was thinking about with Martin Lawrence was actually Blue Streak. Blue Steel is, I think, some movie that's even older maybe. That's a serious movie, not a comedy. So I got that way wrong. But still, a great movie, Blue Streak. Man, that is shimmery. I don't know, that might just be the color right there. I think I might have to mix up more, but let's find out, huh? And we'll get this moved over. All right, let's see what it looks like on the, okay. Got the white streaks because I didn't do my brush. Oh, wow. I like that. Let's get some of the actual color. Well, those white streaks might add to the illusion of metal. I'm not sure. These wooden nuts, however, will not. Oh, wow. Accidental pun. My bad. It's almost like I buffed. When I was sanding this knot, I was actually just buffing it. That paint's not wanting to grab it. Maybe I won't need more. Able to spread it pretty thin. But I do have a whole other side to do. And it's almost looking like it's going to need a second coat. In fact, I think it is. But that's okay. I'll try to mix up the same color. Maybe with the final coat, I'll think about the direction my paintbrush should go, as if it was an actual sharpened blade. I don't know if I'll get that creative, but we'll see. I'll get that butt end at the end. I don't have to actually take my time on that part. You can see I tried to take the edges off, so he's not going to be able to decapitate his sister or anything, but we don't have to worry about that for a while. They definitely do get at each other's throats though. It's funny, me and my wife thought, the plan was let's wait a little bit, let our daughter get older. That way, when we have another kid, she can help out instead of like always arguing with him and stuff. And man, it was the greatest plan ever. And we're probably the only parents who thought of that, right? And turns out 4 to 5 years is not a big enough gap for them to not hate each other. No, they don't hate each other, but they hate when the other one gets the last word, right? So they have to say the last thing, whether it's dummy or you're stupid. They hate being last when it comes to coming to the front door, who gets to unlock the door. It's crazy, man. Stuff I would never think that I would have to worry about. And then, our parents witness it, and sure enough, it's the exact way we acted when we were their age. So I guess it's deserved. Well, not deserved, but comes full circle, right? My daughter loves hiding things when she's supposed to clean her room, which I did a little bit of, I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't bad. My wife, however, according to her mom, was just like that. As long as the floor looked clean, the room was clean. It didn't matter what was in the closet, under the bed, under the pillows, the comforter. Oh man. It's the good days. Getting to where I'm just wiping the paint off at this point. So I think I'm gonna let it dry. And then, like I said, we'll put a second coat, depending on how it looks when it's dry. I can see the wood a lot right now. I think we have just enough paint to set that on the wax paper. Anybody got any kids that just, they argue, they fight over something that you just can't believe? Like I said, they'll race to the front door, and it's like, what are you doing every single day? Every single day. And no matter who wins, the other one has an excuse of why they lost, or it's like, dude. So we ended up getting one of those locks where you can punch in the code. So we thought like, oh, that'll help though. It doesn't matter who gets there first, they can unlock it. They don't have to wait for us to get there with the key. And now it's a race to see who gets to unlock it. So we're back at square one of them having to wait at the door so we can get there and we can unlock it. It's never ending. So anybody got some crazy, weird things their kids do like that? I'd love to hear it. Brighten my day, because as far as I know, my kids are the only ones like that. I remember being competitive with my brother, but I don't know, man. Maybe with shotgun, who gets to sit in front when we were older, but I don't know. I don't remember ever doing that. That's crazy. Uh-oh. See, I'm wiping it off now. Should probably stop. All right, we'll let that dry, and then I'll be back for the second coat, probably the final coat. All right, I've let it dry for about 15 minutes while I edited the first half of this. So it's a little tacky, but we're good to go. Mix up another batch. So I'll finish this up, and then I'm actually pretty sure I'm gonna have to wait for the stain to really set before I can coat it in polyurethane. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait a bit. Make sure I don't mess anything up right at the end there. I know you're supposed to use a little paint knife or something to mix it up, but
ain't nobody got time for that.
all right. Let's get this second coat on. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. It's actually covering up the wood grain. Not this knot though. Naughty, naughty. All right, maybe right here I'll go whoop, whoop. Yeah, I would have to worry about the straight lines too much to do that. Funny enough, I can't even remember if I did the backside yet. I don't think I did, if I had to guess. I hope everybody's having a good day. I thank you for watching. I do enjoy doing this stuff. I know I'm not the most talkative person. I tend to get really focused on what I'm doing and forget that I'm supposed to be speaking, so I will work on it. All right, what are you guys thinking of the colors? I think it just more or less looks like a traditional spear, like almost like a tribesman spear. Not what I was going for, but that's okay. I'm not a spear enthusiast or anything. All right, let's mess this part up real quick. Let's probably get a smaller brush, but I just don't have enough foresight. You know what? That's not even true. I did think of it. I just couldn't be bothered. Oh, I didn't sand that glue off though. I totally forgot that I wanted to fully taper that down to the pole, but it is what it is. I worked on it a little bit, but you can still see, especially from this angle, that it's definitely not symmetrical. Good enough. Job's done. All right, I actually think I am done. We'll let that dry for a couple days. I'll go wash my hands again. And then we can do the polyurethane. Not sure. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to make a whole video out of it. I'll just do enough to make a short. That way you can see the finished product. Either way. Thanks for hanging out while I got my cleaning done and worked on this spear for my son. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.